You know, I've spoken to a lot of families here that are struggling with daycare. You know, not all of them here have the possibility or have the option to send their students back to school. And if they do, it's not full time, it's just 4 hours, and they don't have someone to take them and pick them up.
Yeah, I'll announce with you, it leaked a little bit, so I'm not getting in too much trouble. On Friday, we'll formalize our commitment to do 100,000 new childcare slots in this state. Again, we're not playing in the margins. We add a few thousand a year, 5 to 7,000. We've never done something like this. So over 100,000 subsidized, high-quality childcare slots. Again, a huge investment in childcare and supporting existing childcare providers, providing more stipends for higher quality interventions, extended learning time, and create more opportunities for those that shut their doors, childcare providers, because of the pandemic, to reopen their doors. That will be a big part of this year's budget as well.
We've heard from critics that what we need is an executive order to force these schools to fully reopen. Is that something that you're considering or something that you think will be necessary?
It's happening. It's happening June 30th at midnight. It's statute.
And it would be full-time?
Full-time in-person instruction, period, full stop. Our kids deserve nothing less. I put out a detailed proposal in December, struggled to convince my friends in the legislature, and they compromised down, not the supports. We were able to get our $6.6 billion to help the districts. We were able to get 87% of the districts to offer in-person instruction, but it's not 100%. And so I'm very grateful that we made that progress. They were going to shut everything down in December and January, and none of them reopened. So I'm very proud of that progress, but not satisfied at all. As governor, I want people back in-person instruction full-time, healthy and safe, mindful that communities that have been disproportionately impacted by COVID-19 are also the communities that are most nervous about sending their most precious resource, their children, to schools unless they're confident in the safety and health of their kids. And that's why we're putting all this additional money to make sure these school environments are safe and the kids will be healthy.
Now, June 15th, we're expecting the state to reopen. What exactly does that mean? No more coronavirus restrictions, no masks?
No, masks still in indoor settings like where you're mixed with others. So indoor settings where you have a lot of strangers, dense environments, large grocery stores, things like that, or convention facilities or downstairs, and large scale meetings. But outdoor, we'll have guidelines, but no mandates, and we'll move beyond the blueprint. So no more color coding, no more purple, no more red, no more orange, yellow. The vast majority of the states already, 47 of the 58 counties are already in the orange and yellow tiers, the least two restrictive tiers already. We are really turning the corner, but we're not out of the woods yet. And again, vaccine hesitancy is the biggest enemy to getting to June 15th and moving beyond this blueprint. And so we've got to continue the stubborn work, meet people where they are, farm workers, meet people where they are in terms of opening up at school-based sites, opening up at more community clinics, providing more primary care physicians the opportunity, pharmacies, and obviously we're working hard to provide more pop-up sites and places of worship and community-based organizations.
Now you're facing a recall, and are you worried that these plans are not going to go through?
Well, they won't. If this is successful, all this is undone, particularly if a Republican gets in. And that's happened before. You got to remember where this comes from. It's not hyperbole, it's just fact. This recall was initiated before the pandemic, and it was initiated in opposition to immigrants. It was a direct attack. It is a direct attack at the Latino community. This is the 6th effort to recall me by the Republican Party. 6th. I've only been in office 28 months. It's their 6th attempt. And this was done the last time I expanded health care, regardless of your immigration status, to everybody 0 to 26. It triggered this recall. You read the petition. Don't take my word for it. Read the petition. It begins with anti-immigration screed. The principal proponent of this Republican-backed recall wants to microchip immigrants. That's what he wants to do. That's what's at stake in this recall. It's about me, but it's also about everybody maybe watching. It's about their families. It's about our values. I'm going to expand healthcare coverage on Friday to people without documentation. I'm going to deepen subsidies for people that can't afford health care. We're providing more support for working families. We're doing direct stimulus checks, regardless of your immigration status, to help support mixed status families for all tax filers. 80% of tax filers are getting direct stimulus checks. If you haven't filed your taxes, file your taxes. There's a bonus on the other side, upwards of $1,100 for families with children that will come directly from the state, not the federal government. All of that and more can be undone quickly if it's successful.
You know, some of these plans, your opponents are saying they're your way of buying Californians. What's yours?
I've been at this for many years. These are my values. When I was mayor of San Francisco, I did universal health care regardless of immigration status, fully implemented. When I ran for elected office, I talked about a child savings accounts for every Californian eligible kid, and did it when I was mayor. When I ran for office, I talked about the importance of expanding the earned income tax credit. And so all these things are things I've been doing for 20 years. So that's just political rhetoric, and it's all consistent with the things I've promoted, my values, and things I think Californians care deeply about.
I think another issue that we've seen, and it continues to pop up, we always get calls of people dealing with problems with unemployment.
Yeah.
Not getting checks, not being able to go through the system, not getting anybody to pick up the phone on the other side. So I mean, what's being done to address this?
Well, we inherited an antiquated system. Every governor in America inherited an antiquated system. You cannot talk to a governor in the country that's not having this conversation about frustration because of the historic nature of this pandemic-induced recession and how overwhelmed the old, what they call EDD systems were. So we put everything we can at it. Thousands, quite literally thousands of supplemental employees working the phones, trying to address the backlog, working stubbornly to address the backlog, keep those checks going, but address fraud at the same time. Move fast, and you deal with fraud, so it's trying to find that right balance. Here's the difference. I'm not going to leave a broken system to whoever comes next. On Friday in our budget, we will announce a transformation of our entire EDD unemployment system, once and for all, to fix the IT, to completely change it, to modernize it. Unfortunately, we inherited something that's decades old, and I'm going to make sure that the next governor will never have to go through this, meaning the people of California will never have to go through that again.